Chat. Doing. Hey, Godspeed. I'll be down. Harrison. Frick yeah. How you doing? How you doing? I don't know actually. I don't think we'll play. Maybe we'll play something. If we want to play something, it's gonna be PoE 2. Continue that one. Play a little bit. But before we do that, I wanna watch some videos, watch some news. I didn't stream yesterday, and I know like Kai dropped Dreamy University 2 announcement, and there's probably some other stuff to watch and go through as well. A few other things first before we get to that point. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. So far, I'm good. What's your thoughts on Guild Wars 3? When is Guild Wars 3 coming out, by the way? Guild Wars 3 release day. Was it next year? Yeah, fall 27. What's up, Cruz? Crucifix. What's up? What's up? How you doing? Ah. Chad, do you also have that problem? You think for 1 second, you think, oh, I'm gonna do that. I should do that. Then the next second kind of disappears from mind, and you're left empty thinking, what was it? Yeah, that we got. Oh yeah, we got live on TikTok probably. That's what I thought. We got Titan Quest 2, official chapter 4, Wild Lands. What is Harris? Harrison. What is? Let's definitely watch that one. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Nothing wrong with that, right? 7 days ago, Crush Live Legend after my 10-year long last stand. What? Bro, Nick D dropped a song as well, bro. I can't watch it. I can't watch it because it's me. Damn it. Does Secret Club have good shares? No. TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. Or do chat interview. I guess. If we game, I'm just gonna change. On my time, ever shine. Where the watch? Am I just gonna skim through it? Bro, Halo. Isn't Halo popping off? Oh, when they released. What's up, John? Never they dropped a new game. Dying Light 2, Stay Human, The Breach. Update. I will not play Roblox. No, sorry. No. Not today, though. I'm never gonna say never, but... Bro, I played Roblox like once. Twice, maybe. Like one game. That was years ago. Which Spire? FGS? Dragdon? Dragon's Dogma. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Let me go grab something real quick, chat. It will literally take like not even a minute. Some things are bad to have at home, chat, because if you do, it's just gonna disappear from your home. You know what I mean? Like candy, for example. Eat it, eat. Then it's like, oh, where did my candy go? You know? A Titan Quest. Isn't that an ARPG? Where it is.
This is the second time I feel like I'm sending you to your death.
I see.
The air itself is tainted.
You can be wherever you wanna be, John. This is good. Titan. Isn't Titan Quest 2 out? In early access. How do I how do I join it? Wait. Stay a little while. I wanna queue up for early access. No, don't start. What is this? Midweek deal? You're young. You are very young. You personal killer cat. Yo, I like this. And actually, I like this a lot. What was it? Titan Quest 2. Add to wish list. One year of. Oh, so I just get the game and then it's early access. I see.
So how?
I never played Dragon's Dogma chat. Apparently, wasn't that good of a game, right? In Oregon. It's going, John. It's going. It's going. Thanks for asking. What about you? How's everything going? Is it break and all of that now, or summer break?
You shall not harm the Arisen.
Dad, has anyone played Dragon's Dogma? Yeah.
I will finish this here and now. Over here, Master. I can help you
I
up.
mean, the game looks sick.
The truth behind Norgan's downfall is at hand.
Oregon,
I can
like
feel
Norway.
it.
Sick. Wait, not done. Not done.
Arisen. 'Tis a burden I alone must shoulder.
Leave the dragon alone. October 9th. My mom and dad said I can get into the Switch if I do good. I mean, that's a good motivation, right? I mean, I'll say you this. If you do good in school, you can be whatever you want to be after. It's a good thing. As long as you do your best. Get whatever you want after. World Cup. Error. Let's watch the games first. Got Destiny 2 as well. Yo, didn't Destiny 2 drop recently? Just drop.
Aiden, wake up!
Hello.
We might have made
Oh.
a tiny miscalculation.
Tiny? Whole new worlds are crashing into ours!
And they are multiplying. Dozens, hundreds of them!
What the fuck?
These realities are completely out of
I
control.
didn't say it.
We need you to jump back in.
Wait,
Breach.
what?
Everyone should experience something new once in their lives.
Wait, what can you play? You can play that in
Told
third
you
person?
would be perfect for the job. So adaptive.
Ah, mods. I don't like
I
that.
agree. He is slow.
You guys realize I can still hear you, right?
So is that game even made for
Fuck it.
having
We
mods
have
in
a
it?
new plan.
Prepare yourself, Aiden! There are absolutely no rules here!
Pure total chaos!
Just try not to die too quickly. We need that data.
Okay, let's give it a try.
Run the bounties. Gather the data and claim your new rewards. A much-needed stylistic upgrade.
Why not? Gotta give the people what they want, right?
Are you ready?
Or you want to avoid our challenging projects?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Warning. Security protocols offline. Non-human life form detected.
Okay. Intressant.
Our final
Collection.
chance at freedom lies on that field.
This is the absolute last of Destiny 2, right? Absolute.
But now
The last of the last.
we end it.
It's sad that they didn't release it. Thinking back, like the game is well made. Like there's really no other game similar to Destiny out on the market, right? I don't think so. No, I do not play Minecraft, no. I did a little bit before, like back in the day. I sadly don't remember my. I don't even know how to download. Forgot. Oh yeah, they added old. Bro. Okay, so you buy everything and you get everything. Of course you do. You buy one thing and you get everything pretty much. So, man. This is like a promotion, not a promotional video. Okay.
For our fire team. All of us. Every Titan. Every warlock. Every hunter.
After all we've seen, all we've lost, I'm asking you
Is that dude still
to
alive?
rise.
Yo, chat, by the way, isn't the World Cup? When is that? When does the World Cup keep up start? 11th. Tomorrow. Mexico, South Africa. Friday, South Korea and Czechia. And also on Friday, Canada, Bosnia. There's a whole lot of list. There's a whole list. Yeah. Yeah, let's make a prediction, chat. Tomorrow, I think Mexico will win. No, actually, I think South Africa. If I would put like a little bit on South. Not everything. Let me know, John. If you feel like sharing it, go ahead.
This is sick.
FIFA. I thought FIFA was just a game. Apparently not.
Are you gonna be live? Of course. I'm Speed.
Yeah.
I need to be live.
Yeah.
Yo,
Underworld.
what's up, man? How are you, brother? I'm
That's
good.
nice that you actually made a game.
Great to have you here.
Thank you.
So,
That's
what are
great.
your plans for the World Cup?
Keep it up.
I guess you have
Keep
to
on
wait and see.
creating. Keep on creating. What did he say?
I guess you have to wait and see.
Oh, man. How are you, brother?
I'm good.
Welcome. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
So, what are your plans for the World Cup?
Okay. And I wanna watch this, but yeah, if I'm gonna cut my hair, I'm gonna cut it like this. Well, I'm actually gonna take it. That's weird, but sorry, Nick. Oh, eh, oh, oh, eh, oh, eh, oh. Do we? I'm curious about Guild Wars 3 chat. So I'm gonna watch this and mention there was, I think yesterday was an interview, right, with the game dev and the CEO, right? That will be after Fable, bro.
Good
Yo,
taste
Fable,
is
Fable.
hard to agree on. Most of the time. 1664
That beer is
belongs
sweet.
00.
That's like no,
Unquestionably good taste.
that's not a beer. Let me tell you that much.
I got a chance to check out a behind closed doors of the new
It depends on
Fable.
what it is.
Showed off all
John.
of the life
Depends on what it is.
that they have in the game.
The answer might be no.
There's been reports of strange things happening around here.
Like what?
All right, so it's important to note that this demo was hands-off, pretty scripted in terms of kind of what they wanted to show, and was not focused on story, wasn't focused on combat, although we technically did see a little bit of combat. It's really
Hello,
about
Frank.
NPC
How's it going?
interactivity, kind of like life sim stuff. So in this demo, we go to a
Oh, look at the
town
world.
called
It's like-
Silverbrook, and we started by doing like a little quest
Oh, well made.
where a butcher and a child are arguing over whether a talking pig should be killed. The butcher bought this pig with the intent of serving them at the big kind of like annual festival that the town holds. But then like a day or two ago,
Is that the
pig
same
started
company
talking,
show as
and so the kid's like, hey, don't kill the pig. He talks now. And
as,
you, as
The
hero,
Witcher?
get to kind of choose whether you save the pig or not. And the way they were describing it is that was kind of like this short little, not even a quest. It was like a moment with a choice. You'll experience these little moments that will then kind of feed into larger, bigger narratives. From there, they kind of just showed off the way we can interact with NPCs. They gave some money to a beggar, and then we went to a shopkeeper and attempted to flirt with her. And when you want to flirt with somebody, you end up getting this like checklist of the different things that person requires from you if you want.
That means
them. They did say there
that
are
you need
1,000
charisma
custom
and
NPCs in this game.
charisma, intelligence,
You
and all of that, right?
Theoretically, date all of them. Maybe not all at once. It might take a really long time, but technically, you can do it. So I look forward to somebody making a video about that. That'll be fascinating. But in this demo, we decided we're going to date this person.
That's the map. What is all of that? Scarecrows? Unlocated scarecrows? There. Blacksmith. Stables. Armor shop. General store, I think. Hairdresser, whatever that is. That's the board. That's the bale. That's a bar. Something. Shop.
And so they wanted us to have fancy clothes, they wanted us to own real estate, and they wanted us to be like an entrepreneur. And they used that as sort of a way to go through and show off buying a tavern, hiring employees. They actually hired
I do have
the
Steam,
guy,
I
the
do.
beggar that we gave money to earlier as an employee, gave him a salary, kind of like uplifts his status in the world, which is fascinating. I kind of asked like how that works, like what's the limitations of that, and they were saying that like by giving them like a nicer job, it does increase their like economic wealth, and then it's like, oh, this person now has money and they could potentially buy like a nicer house and nicer clothes. So I'm curious, like if you can change the economic status of people, can I make a beggar into like a wealthy rich man in a mansion, or can I like buy a mansion and kick out the wealthy guy and turn him into like a homeless man on the street? I'm so curious what the limitations of this system are, because it seems like it could be really cool, but it's hard to say right now. So every time you're talking with somebody and doing something, they basically form an opinion on you based on sort of like your actions. So because we were buying all this property, they're like, oh, this person's wealthy.
Wait, so the people in the game react to the decisions I make in the game?
Depending on that person's personality determines whether they like you or not. So the woman we were trying to date obviously liked that we were wealthy, but then when we went to a different shop to buy some clothing, that woman actually hated that we were wealthy, and she was like, I don't want you in my shop, please leave. She actually jacked up all her prices by 80% for us. So there's this interesting dynamic where you're not going to be able to please everyone at once, but you can also, you know, you might need to change your behavior for a certain person if you're trying to get something from them. Finally, they showed off a little bit of combat where we just like killed a couple of town guards just to show what it's like to kind of be like evil. We fired a bunch of people from our bar, and we're just generally acting like a huge dick. And yeah, then you ended up having like a bounty, and we had to like escape the town, and you can technically pay off the bounty, and there's all these systems in place to kind of reset things if you want to, but it sounds like you do have to put in like have a lot of money to like properly reset stuff. Like
how long have they been
to have ripple effects, and it's not something you can reset on a whim. So that was what they showed.
Thank you for the like.
I
How you doing?
This stuff sounds really cool, but it's hard for me to gauge how deep does it go and like where the limitations
How
are.
long have they been in progress?
I think if this system is super cool and in depth, I could see this really grabbing like the Stardew Valley type crowd of people who are just like, I want to do that. I want to like, I don't even want to play the story. I'm just get me up to the point where I can wander around and talk to all these NPCs.
It's an open world you can do. It's like I get the feeling it's like Crimson Desert, right?
Like,
maybe not as big, but it has that like
but where that
story side to it, and then you can like wander off or do your own stuff, right?
Decision making is still up in the air. So that's everything I got to look at in Fable. Just a small little slice of the game. So very curious to see what the rest of the game is like.
So last week we had the festivities of Summer Games Fest, which is basically Christmas for gamers, an entire week of new game announcements, updates,
that was insane.
Overall general
3 days in a row,
celebration
like
of our favorite hobby. And honestly, this year's event was fantastic. Like, looking at this list of games has me pumped for the upcoming year in gaming. There's tons of stuff on here that I just can't wait to dive into and talk more about.
When's the next game show, by the way?
I'll likely do in other videos in the coming weeks here. But man, hands down, without question, the #1 most exciting thing for me on this list, it's friggin' Guild Wars 3, dude. Are you serious? I honestly can't believe it. I really can't believe it. I think MMOs might be saved. Now, we have known that ArenaNet had a new Guild Wars project in the works. This was revealed during investor calls last year, but from what we had heard, it was in the concepts of a plan phase. Like, someone just wrote Guild Wars 3 on a whiteboard and said, yeah, we should do that. Yeah, we should do that. I had zero expectation that we would be getting
not to mention, forget to mention, we still got GTA at the end of the year, like in just a couple of months. Like 3-4 months. I actually do, John. Not only 25, but 24, 23, 22. Right? Because time goes by so fast. I wish I kind of did more with the time I had, right? But instead of looking back, it's like, what can I do now? Right? I think that's how we have to see. What can we do now to make the most out of? Right? Yeah, I do miss. I try not to think about it.
Announcement with in-engine footage this year. Now, sure, this isn't exactly
how
I expect the gameplay to look, no, but it is how things can look in the engine that they're working with, evidently. And other than like meme comparisons to, is this High Guard 2? I think it looks pretty good. Maybe sort of a plasticky feel. I hope they continue to work on it, but overall, it genuinely, I think, looks visually appealing. But yeah, dude, I had no expectation that we would be getting this game this year announced. I really did not. Let alone the fact that with the game's reveal, they also announced that they're going to be beta testing in the fall of 2027. So 15 months from now, again, honest to God, I don't think I was...
Okay, beta testing 2027, early 27, meaning that the game will probably drop late 27, if not early 28.
Expecting to get to play Guild Wars 3, assuming it even existed before it was announced, until like 2030 at the earliest. So I am beyond surprised, but also incredibly excited. This is awesome. As I've mentioned over the years, Guild Wars 2 has remained one of my top 5 favorite MMOs. In fact, I'd probably even put it in the top 3, along with World of Warcraft and Elder Scrolls Online. They are the traditional MMORPGs that I've most consistently come back to over the years to check out updates.
No, I don't.
So having a new installment for one of my favorite games in my all-time favorite genres.
I'm not a console player.
It's like Christmas for gamers.
Never really been.
It's at least Christmas for me, I'll tell you that much. Hey there, Force from the future here. So after I'd already basically put this video together and we were about to publish it, I'd done a couple posts online, and also while I was live streaming, I kept getting questions like, how can you actually be excited about this? The genre is so cooked. Like, are we not still super pessimistic about every new MMO that gets announced, given how it's gone for so long? And this was my response to that. And this is my response to that. People were like, well, why are you excited for MMOs? They all suck. Listen, this is coming from ArenaNet. And ArenaNet is one of the few companies who did make an MMO that was successful, withstood the test of time, and that I still like playing today. So of all of the developers, this is one of the handful that I'll be like, yes, I am fully excited, leaning more positive than I am skeptical. Cause Guild Wars 2 is fucking awesome. I still think it's a great game. WoW, ESO, and Guild Wars 2. These are the 3 bigger, like, traditional MMOs that I still come back to every single year. So if I'm gonna be excited about anyone making a new MMO, it's gonna be Blizzard, well, ArenaNet, and ZeniMax Online Studios. Unfortunately, Blizzard fucking refuses to make an MMORPG ever again. ZeniMax Online Studios spent 7 years making a new MMO, but Microsoft canceled it last year. And ArenaNet, they're taking a shot. So yeah, you bet your ass I'm excited, dude.
But the PS5 is a console, right?
I'm excited. All right, so what exactly do we know about Guild Wars 3 thus far?
What do you mean?
Well, we've got some basic information about what they're putting together. Some of this comes from the official website, Steam page, and press releases, and I will touch on those things. But really, a lot of the good info came from an IGN interview where ArenaNet studio head Colin Johansson shared some details about the game.
That's what I meant.
Now, one big important thing that they've discussed in several instances is the fact that Guild Wars 3 is going to be a fair bit different than Guild Wars 2. Now, it's of course sharing the same world, the same lore, and much of the same DNA, but enough will be different that you may still want to play both games.
We start with player problems, and we make MMORPGs, so we start by asking, what are all the player problems and frustrations in the genre at this time? And back when we were making Guild Wars 1, one of the big ones was that every online game had a subscription fee.
What you mean?
So we set out to make a game that would have no subscription fees, that anyone could play as much or as little as they want, and they could always play with their friends. When we set out to make Guild Wars 2, we wanted to make a giant open world MMO, the scale of all these other games that were out at the time, and solve for the problems that existed in those types of games. And so we made a world where players don't get put in conflict with one another, where it's easy to play with other players, and other players actually make the game more fun. And starting with those player problems as our core means every one of our games is very, very different. They take place in Tyria, they draw from the same core lore, but they're on different timelines and they're very different game experiences because they solve for different problems in the era of game that we're making it in.
Wait, did he say stupid, or is Guild Wars 3 not gonna be?
I am here.
It's still gonna be open world, right?
In South Sudan,
MMO open world.
Witnessing children weak from illness.
In fact, following the announcement, they also released a separate video talking about the future of Guild Wars as a franchise, all 3 of them. So they have got new updates and content planned for Guild Wars 1, some fairly big overhauls that will be coming to Guild Wars 2,
I didn't know Guild Wars 1
and they also announced a planned commitment to continue yearly content updates for Guild Wars 2 even after Guild Wars 3 has released.
We wouldn't have got to this moment without the millions of players who've enjoyed Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2. And the entire team at ArenaNet is proud to share this moment with all of you. We'll have much more to share about Guild Wars 3 in the months ahead, but today, we're here to talk about the games you're already playing. I want you all to know our studio is committed to actively developing Guild Wars Reforged and Guild Wars 2 for many years to come. We are not replacing
Guild Wars Reforged is the Guild Wars 1, right?
We'll be supporting them.
Their explanation for why they're doing this is basically just the fact that the games are different enough that they expect there will be people who want to play both or who prefer one over the other. Kind of like how there's people who prefer classic World of Warcraft to retail. Same thing's going to be for Guild Wars 1, 2, and 3, and they're going to continue supporting those games as a result. So yes, I guess the main point here is that Guild Wars 3 isn't just going to be Guild Wars 2 with prettier graphics. Expect some fairly big differences. First of which appears to be the combat. So, you know, Guild Wars 2 has this hybrid tab target action combat system that sort of blends the old school MMO tab targeting with some more actiony elements. Well, for Guild Wars 3, they are fully committing to
I don't have
action
Roblox,
with hopes of pushing
so
what people
that won't be
expect
possible.
out of the
No,
genre's combat forward.
I don't have
And
it.
then the other one that we've talked just a tiny bit about, and I'm going to leave it at that today, is our combat system. And I think that MMOs often
So you
are
can't.
viewed as very specific types of combat, and we really wanted to look at, especially with this game now coming to both console for the first time and trying to create a new era of MMOs, we really wanted to ask, how could we take some of the elements that you would find in action multiplayer combat games, or even just action RPGs, and bring those into the MMO space and extend them? And so our combat system is really something very unique that extends out on some of those ideas as well. That's as much as I'm going to say right now.
And yeah, I'm
As
fully
much
on board with
spoilers as
this,
that
frankly.
was,
I think for
not many,
modern
but-
day MMOs especially, tab targeting is just
Let
too
me,
antiquated. Even though there are things
Hello.
about tab targeting that I really enjoy, like the sheer volume of potential skills that
Well,
you
if you
can
don't have tab
or the
targeting,
precise
I don't know what.
targeting of individual targets within large groups of people, there are things about tab targets that
Did you guys play back in, this is a long time ago, but you know when Fly for Fun, Fliff was out? I don't know if you guys know the game, but it kind of looks similar to this one. Like with the graphics and style, a little bit. That was, I think that was an MMO as well.
my favorite MMO
Like more
is
like an
classic
anime
WoW
Japanese.
after all. But I feel like
A good one.
the future of the genre
That was
is
like 20
likely
years ago, I
action
think.
oriented.
15
My
to-
hope
yeah,
really is that they can try to make sure it doesn't feel
15,
too
20
spammy,
years ago, yeah.
where a lot of action combat games can kind of just like, especially if you're dealing with boss fights and large number of players, it just feels like a spam fest. I don't know how else to explain it. It feels less sort of input precise and rotation precise than it does in tab target MMOs like WoW. Not 100% of the time, but in a lot of cases. So, and so I hope there's room for some skill expression, and it doesn't feel like every class is just a DPS class. Maybe they're going to lean more into a more Holy
kinda
Trinity
curious.
system if they are trying to separate themselves from
I
Guild
do
Wars
low-key
2.
wanna-
Again, we'll see what happens. Now, when describing the game, they say that we will master a combat system where depth is achieved through
What do you
strategic
mean,
skill
Joel?
use, positioning, and movement, where action RPG combat meets Guild Wars build making, creating a unique combat experience. That's pulled directly
I forgot
from
what I
our
was gonna
website.
say.
Now, beyond the 100% focus on action versus this hybrid thing, there's also
Yeah,
gonna be a
I
bigger
do low-key
traversal
wanna,
focus.
like, kinda
Now,
watch the
traversal is
int-
still a big thing in Guild Wars 2
I don't
via
know
the
how long
mount
that one
system
is.
at least, which gives players a lot of freedom and fun ways of moving through
Probably
the
very
environment.
long.
But it does
An
seem
hour
like
or so.
more of this will be player versus mount centric in Guild Wars 3. We have that example of a character wall running up the side of a mountain in the reveal trailer rather than having to use the Springer mount or the flying mount in Guild Wars 2.
The two things so far that we've set out as core pillars for the game that we've announced, one of them is joy of movement. I think one of the things that the Guild Wars franchise is known for, coming out of Guild Wars 2 in particular, is offering this really spectacular form of movement in an MMO experience. And we're really trying to push that even further with Guild Wars 3 and asking the question, can we take some of the elements that you would traditionally find in action games and bring those into multiplayer MMO experiences to create incredible new forms of joy of movement? And a lot of that is powered by momentum, which is a thing you don't see in MMOs. And so a lot of the movement in Guild Wars 3, your momentum transfers between all of the different things you do, which allows you to really express joy of movement in a unique way in an MMO.
So momentum is going to play a big role here, which is really exciting. You're going to have some
agility,
method of picking up speed and then carrying that momentum, carrying that speed into other actions that you do for navigating this play space. And this kind of reminds me of how it works in Dune Awakening. So you can do like the grapple hook onto a ledge,
Fleur.
and if your character clears that ledge, you take
I'm
all
good,
of
bro.
that grapple speed that you built up, and then you can use that with your grav belt to just soar
What'll
through
be
the
you?
sky, and it creates just like super fun traversal. That's one of the best parts about Dune Awakening is the traversal system with the grapple, the grav belt, and there's several other abilities that kind of play into this momentum-based moving through the landscape. So yeah, I would love to see that in more games, systems like that, momentum-based movements where you can carry momentum around. That sounds great. And they go on further on the website.
I feel like that question is so general, because I don't know. When you ask someone, how are you? It's like 90% of the time it's like, I'm good. You know? Even in some cases where they're like feeling like dog shit and like, I'm good. No. Ooh, some mint ice cream ice.
To talk about this,
you woke
saying
up on
you
the
can
right
glide,
side.
ride, leap, and wall run
MSM?
across
What is that, John?
Or is the place that we're playing in,
MSM.
with a one-of-a-kind movement system that transfers your momentum between modes of travel, providing a free-form joy of movement through a world alive with adventure. Awesome, sounds great. Fun movement in games with big worlds to explore just adds to the whole experience. So great, awesome. Also, interestingly,
Fair.
on the Guild Wars 3
That's fair.
website, they make mention of skill.
But I mean,
collection.
also like, am I singing most? Oh no, I don't. Yeah, I kind of feel you. I'm like on the same page, but sometimes, I mean, people don't give a shit. They don't. And a lot of times they ask questions that I don't really know the real answer to. They don't actually give a shit. What I mean?
Which is really exciting. So this was a big thing in the first Guild Wars. As you played through the game, you would pick up skills, the vendors would sell them to you, and then those skills would be
I
ones
rather
that you
tell
could
the
use for your
truth than a
character.
lie.
But most
I don't lie.
interestingly was how they
I
did
told myself
elite
that.
skills. That they actually required you to
I do
go
not
out
lie.
into the open world and take on
I
some
hate
challenge,
lies.
usually just some difficult boss fight, and then you could get that boss's skills and use them on your character. So
fair.
I don't know, say you
Fair,
fought some
fair.
necromancer who could summon a skeleton
Oh, and is that
out in the
that
world.
a game, by the way?
If you wanted
I'm
to summon
seeing
that
most-
skeleton, you would have to, with a group of players, go kill the necromancer and then capture the summon skeleton ability, which then you could use it. And I think this is just an interesting way of just doing skills in MMOs. I think it's really cool. It's really well done. I haven't, it's been a very long time since I played the first Guild Wars, and I don't have the clearest of memories of exactly how the system worked, but hell, I mean, maybe it's time for a revisit because it's a really interesting system just conceptually. If I want, you know, there's a boss that leaps up in the air and does a big earthquake. I want that ability. Let's get a group. Let's
Some
kill
dark
the boss.
humor.
Let's
We
capture
like
the
that.
ability. Now I can do the earthquake, you know? So it's cool. Looks like skill capture is coming and making a return from Guild Wars 1 into Guild Wars 3. Now, in terms of the game's setting, I think something that's really interesting here is that this is going back in time. So as mentioned, it takes place
do
in
you know,
war. That's
is there any more... Pause the video for a second. Any more up and coming game shows? Because we had the... Oh yeah, Fleur, I gotta ask you now while it's fresh. What do you mean by the comment on the Xbox video? I saw it, but I didn't know how to reply because I didn't know what you mean. No? Games. Oh. A title of a video? For that specific video? Or like something. Be right back. Gotcha. Wait, let me. Oh, sorry. Happened in a pop-up chat? You mean the emotes? What? Ah, not Twitch, YouTube. No, like on stream, I will be able to see other people's comments on What? Like this one. Try to refresh the page. When you do this, I have no clue where it is. Ah, I see. Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back. Bro, then let me... Why is nothing working? Because it's the... That chat. Oh, wait, I think I know what it is. Log in. Ah, I didn't say it. I saw it, but I didn't say anything. Great minds think alike, chat. It's widgets. No, it's alerts. No. Bro, what? It is this thing. Widgets. Chat overlay. What you mean? Yeah, I have no clue. I have no clue. It's the same here. Wait. Profile. I didn't even notice. Oh, I'm moving on. Now where did that one go? Something is bugging now. And I don't know how to fix it. If not, if we do that, browser, add existing, multi-chat, boom, 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 boom. I mean, I shouldn't need... Wait, I can refresh it. Alright. I mean, let's leave it be, I guess. And hopefully it fixes itself next time I restart the OBS or something. Now, on top of this one, I have a overlay chat. It's not working. Upcoming game shows 2026. Game industry events. Sure, why not? I don't think there is any, to be honest. Ah.
like the play space, the world that we're going to be in, but it's over 1,200 years before the events of Guild Wars 1.
Yeah, but why
and
is
just
it not
before
working?
the very first Guild War broke out, and I guess
That's just
before one
weird.
of the gods was disposed. That's above my head.
And we see this
Bro,
as a
that
really
would be
incredible
in
opportunity
years.
to go back to a place in our world.
I don't even know if I
that
want to
there
do a
isn't
game
lot
show.
of written history
If I
about,
could,
but
I
what there
don't
is
even know.
incredibly
I don't think
interesting.
so.
And there are a huge amount of the mysteries and the stories behind the entire concept of Guild Wars all originate from this timeline.
Vilken av de här innehåller fullkorn?
Broccoli kanske?
9,5 miljoner svenskar vet inte så mycket om fullkorn.
Got a long way to go, Johan. Got a long way to go.
Sätt in, spara
Still
och
got a
investera
lot of time.
nu. Gör som 70 miljoner andra och ta täten med Revolut.
So this place will be familiar for people who have enjoyed Guild Wars games, but there's so much unknown about this time period that it's going to let the developers do a lot of different things. And I also like the idea of going back in time to a more rooted, grounded fantasy
Like banking
setting,
ads.
presumably with less of the
Do
future
you
tech
use
that we
Revolut?
have in, say, Guild Wars 2.
That
I don't really know
it's
for sure
worldwide.
if that's the case, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, and I like this back in time approach instead of going from Guild Wars 2 forward or leaping ahead in time. I just like this. It sounds good.
Now I know. I was gonna check your comment. I totally forgot. Thought it was. Brave browser. Don't say that, Joan. Where do I even check it? Well, see it as a blessing. Listen. I don't see how that fits, bro. Great way to say it, Flair. Great way. Not that. Because that's the one I thought about.
Good.
Yeah, you messaged that one well. Another video. I don't think I see. Either way.
And speaking of differences,
I think that's the first
between
comment.
1, 2, and 3, it
I've
does
seen.
appear like the scale of the multiplayer might be smaller scale than what we see in Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, that was a good
From
message.
a recent PC Gamer article, it does sound like Guild Wars 3 might be going more in the shared world direction versus the large scale hundreds of players on screen like you see in, say, Guild Wars 2 world bosses. So in this written article, we have this quote: I can't reveal too
Kinda
much
funny,
because
Chad,
Guild Wars
that
3 is still under
and
development,
since
but there is a
they
directional
released
difference.
Guild Wars 3, a
Aeon
lot
2
of
focuses
people I've
more
seen
on massive numbers
started
of
to play
players like RVR,
or are
Realm
playing
versus Realm, or
Guild Wars 2.
users the more fun, whereas Guild Wars 3 is more about segments of small groups playing that makes the gameplay more fun. That's all I can say at the moment. Now, it's worth noting that this quote came from someone associated with with Aeon 2 and
Video
not
in a
Guild Wars
video.
3, but because they're
Technically,
under
a
the same,
video in a
umbrella
video
company,
in a
I
video,
believe
'cause
they
you
just
guys
have
are watching a
knowledge of what
video
Guild
of me,
Wars 3
right?
is making. The reason I add that caveat is this is not directly from Arena.
Or not also the streets, but just want to let you know, man, that I really watch the video. I've never seen you write that before. Seen that before.
Net,
But I
or
mean, that would
from,
probably be something I
someone
watch
working on
off
Guild
stream
Wars
then.
3, as far as I could tell from the article. So
Thank you,
this
Boost.
may or may not actually be
Drop
the
and
case
thank you.
in terms of the scale and the scope
All
of
likes.
the multiplayer in the game. We'll have
Did
to
that.
see. Although I will add, like, it is cool to see the
What's
hundreds
on my
of
game
players
show
while you're
video? Was it? The latest one? I only see that. That's the only thing I see. That's why I'm so confused, you know? I was like, what do you mean? It doesn't make sense.
Fighting world bosses in Guild Wars 2, but it's not like a pivotal thing for me.
Yeah, but the same here. Only one comment. Comments on moderation. Ah. Probably because of that. Probably because of that. Is that a standard setting I have on? Yes. But that's for the whole channel, I believe.
Necessarily.
Ah, still. Anyway. In fall or December. Yeah. I know, like, I think the Xbox Game Show, they continue to, for indie games and all of that, like smaller type of games, if I'm not mistaken, showcase that. But I ended early.
We've talked about this a lot when it comes to, like,
yeah, you might be
what
right.
is an MMO? Exactly how many players have to be on the screen for you to classify it as an MMO?
You got like Mad Mushroom, for example. I don't know if ODK.
Where are the thresholds where you move from one
that's not a
genre
game show.
definition to another? I don't really know. I guess really what's most important to me is that the world feels alive. I don't need to see 200.
You had to name what people upgrade on a PC other than their. I don't get it. You had to name what people upgrade on a PC other than their PC. What do you think it would be? Bro, I'm confused.
People rendered on my screen to feel like I'm in a living, breathing world. I just need to continuously see people around me while I'm exploring, and I need to not be broken of the immersion of that play space where players are vanishing and reappearing. Unless they're rogues going into stealth, I don't want that happening. I don't want to be phasing out of it.
What I would think they should upgrade? What?
Instances while I'm in the middle of, like, taking on a mini boss in the world with 2 other random people that I came across. I don't want that spell broken, you know what I mean? But, like, the exact threshold of the number of people that I can see at any given time, that's not really important to me. I want larger scale things, you know? I would like to see still maybe a big world versus world PvP like they do in Guild Wars 2, or like is done in ESO, or like was done in Dark Age of Camelot. But it doesn't have to be.
I mean, yeah, either keyboard and mouse, or like this one, headset. I think that's more common. Like these smaller parts, other than mouse pads as well, for example. other than a monitor.
Thousands of players. It doesn't even really have to be hundreds of players, but 50 to 100 in some of the bigger content in the game, I would personally
probably
still
say
love that.
keyboard mouse.
Again, though, I'm not. This isn't. Again, this wasn't the Guild Wars.
No,
Guild
no.
Wars
When I think
developers.
about
This
it,
wasn't Arena
no.
Net.
Yeah. I mean, you have a stable monitor, but then at the same time, if you have a good monitor from the start, then you have like everything. Like.
That gave that quote, so
That's
it was
tough.
just someone associated with the company
course,
that apparently
actually.
knows about
'Cause it
what they're
depends.
building. I don't know though. We'll take that,
Are
or
you-
leave that section. But back to officially confirm things. Monetization. It seems highly likely that they're going to be following probably exactly in the footsteps of what they've done with Guild Wars
luck,
2
John.
here in this instance. At least they appear to be wanting to avoid subscriptions and battle passes.
I think there's become
Me,
a
you making
modern
another one?
version of the subscription that we've seen evolve over the last few years, and even longer than that, in battle passes and
Right,
paid
Flair.
battle passes,
Right.
where it's basically a subscription kind of hidden and wrapped with
Monitors
other
are
stuff around
more
it.
expensive as
And I
well,
think we've
right?
challenged ourselves to ask
Basically,
the same
like
question.
less of a.
Can we make a game like
That's
this
what I'm
that
thinking.
doesn't have a subscription fee and doesn't have a battle pass fee buried in it as well? Because we think players are sick of those two. And so this will be a game you can buy it, you can play it as much or as little as you want.
I mean,
we will respect our players' time.
If you don't really know,
If they love it, we'll have a.
take me for example. I'm not really that of high tech. Yeah. Like it's ever since you have described everything for me, like monitors and whatnot, I've learned quite a lot, right? Like some new stuff. Before that, I had no clue. And if you're on that stage and don't really know, you just like buy a monitor. You think like, okay, it's like good refresh rate, it's a good size, it's boom, low MS, right? That's like what I looked at when I bought my monitor I have now. If you don't know anything else, it's like
Other stuff that they can buy from us in the future.
you watch
We're
more
not gonna hold their time
price,
hostage.
which you
We
kind of
want
do
them to be able to
in
go
a way,
play
but
their games.
Also, I don't think I mentioned this, but the game is going to be coming to both PC and console right from the start, and they've really emphasized wanting to make sure that the experience feels great on both platforms. And then the last thing that they've really tried to drive home about this game is that their main focus really, from a high level, is for Guild Wars 3 to try to breathe some fresh life into what they clearly see as a stagnated
you gotta
genre,
have everything the
which,
same.
Of course, yes, all fans of MMOs will agree with that.
All
We
gotta
feel
be
like
the same.
Right now, the genre that we make our game in the MMO genre, and we've consistently heard this from all of you too, that you feel like this genre is ready for something new, that it is stagnated, that we've all been playing the same games for the most part. For
I can
over a
sort of
decade.
resonate with that.
And
to be
I
honest.
think this is when ArenaNet's at its best, when we challenge ourselves and say,
Arena.
let's go solve for the problems and innovate. And it's risky. It's a challenging thing to do. We could trip and fall flat on our face by trying to invent new ideas and then wrap our game around those. But I don't think game genres move
That it
forward
doesn't
unless
matter
we
how
know
many
we can
times
do
you
that.
fail.
And so
What
we're
matters
gonna
is how many
fearlessly
times
charge
you
forward
stand
and
up
try a bunch of
tall
new
after.
ideas. And we really hope people love them, and we're going to find out over the next couple of years.
They go on to say in the press release, our goal for Guild Wars 3 is to push the MMORPG genre forward while upholding the values you will always find in a Guild Wars game. Design that is easy to get lost in for hours, but always respects your time and investment as a player, while creating a positive and supporting space to build community and share stories together. And I think that last line, those last two lines, really drive home what I've loved about Guild Wars 2. It is one of the MMOs I keep coming back to year after
Well,
year.
am I the only one
I
that
think
has not
because it
been
respects
like
your time, because you carry over your
looked
progress,
in Guild Wars
because they do that horizontal progression. Some people absolutely hate it. I don't. It's the reason I keep playing and keep coming back to Guild Wars 2.
Is it worth
I
trying?
still like MMOs with vertical progression. I still play classic
You're gonna
WoW.
go?
I still jump in and check out retail. I still play ESO, although ESO is kind of like horizontal it's like a mix because
wasn't they gonna
at
go
one
out
point
with
you
a
get to
new
a gear level where you're pretty much
ESO
good, but there's
as well?
still higher tier gear
Update,
that you can get, which I guess is
update?
kind of like how it works in Guild Wars 2. That's actually a question. Would we classify ESO as vertical or horizontal? Because for me, it's always kind of been but whatever. I'm not playing at Pinnacle content either, so what do I know? Either way, I am honestly over the moon. It's still early days. We don't know a lot. Pretty much don't know much of anything really about the game, but man, with how much I love Guild Wars 2, my expectations are indeed sky high. Even more so, I think because
Are
the
TVs
MMO genre has
usually
been in
VA,
such a
Flair?
rough state in recent years, just in terms of new games coming out. All of the behemoths, they're still trucking along.
But they're the
still
same as
doing yearly
monitors,
updates,
like
and that's great. I
VAI,
still play
PS, and
all of those
whatnot.
games. Guild
Everything,
Wars
blah,
2
blah, blah, blah,
included,
you know?
but getting new games in the genre and ones that have a chance of sticking around. It's just been quite a while since that's really happened, and the fact that Guild Wars 2 is getting a sequel, and Guild Wars 2 is one of those MMOs that stuck around, that still gets yearly updates, and that I still play every year, them making the next thing, I can't wait, dude. MMOs are back, baby. Let's go. All right, I'm sure I'll cover this game more in the future. That's all for this video, though. Stay tuned. Let me know what you guys think. Are you excited for Guild Wars 3?
Ooh, I am. Yeah. I definitely don't really know about Guild Wars 2. I am. It's an MMO and it looks good. Boom. What more do you need? Well, right. Black IPS was. There's too much shit. I'm not gonna lie, there's too much. Wait. Do you see this? Solo Leveling Season 3 just got its biggest update yet. Pause everything else. Watch this. Silence. Need this. I need
Så fort vi pratar om pengar så får jag höra.
It probably is, but I still... they got me. I'm hooked already. Wait, so you got QD mini LED. You got IPS with different IPS in the IPS. Then you probably have more.
En rätt tråkig ton.
Kreditkort och avbetalningar är ju liksom inte leksakspengar.
Kanske skulle ett första steg.
So Solo Leveling fans, we finally have a major update regarding Season 3 of the anime. And while this isn't the official announcement many fans have been waiting for, it's probably the strongest indication yet that the next season is already moving forward. According to DNC Media's latest investor relations report, Solo Leveling Season 3 is currently in production, with the company projecting a release sometime between 2027 and 2028. Now, before everyone starts marking their calendars, it's important to understand what that actually means. The report confirms that Season 3 is being worked on, but the 2027 to 2028 timeframe is still a projection, not a finalized release date. In other words, DNC Media expects the anime to arrive during that period, but plans can always change as production continues. What's interesting here is the source itself. DNC Media isn't some random insider or leaker. They're the publisher and one of the major companies behind the Solo Leveling franchise, owning the webtoon and novel rights. More importantly, this information comes from an official investor report, which is a legally significant document created for shareholders and business partners. That doesn't automatically replace an official anime announcement, but it does give this information far more credibility than the usual rumors floating around online. For those wondering why the report isn't being...
Animation jumps? You're talking about a specific anime, or do you mean like animes overall, like the progress in animation? Like on all the animes? By the way, I don't think this is clickbait. It's a well-matched video. Just in general, right? It's like, just take like Naruto, for example. Let's take One Piece, for example. Like, every jump, there's a new animation. So yeah, you're damn right. And it kind of makes sense.
Treated as a full release confirmation. That's because the wording used includes terms that translate to things like expected, planned, and anticipated. These indicate future projections rather than guaranteed schedules. Still, the biggest takeaway here is simple. Season 3 appears to be in active production, and considering how massive Solo Leveling has become worldwide, it was only a matter of time before we got signs that the anime would continue. So for now, we'll have to wait for A1 Pictures, Aniplex, or the official anime accounts to make the announcement themselves. But until then, this is easily the most convincing update we've received regarding Season 3's future. future. What do you guys think? Do you believe we'll actually see solo leveling return in 2027, or could it arrive even sooner? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you're excited for more solo leveling updates, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.
2025 we saw it 1 year. I
Thanks for
mean,
watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
they only drop like 1 episode a week in a way, and they got a week, like 4 episodes a month. Yeah. Nice. Loki's abilities. Wait, we got that already? Does the animations get harder to make though? I kind of doubt that. That might be true. The people just better and better with time overall. Makes it's an illusion. Illusion. Hey chat, is the champ out? Beans enemies souls with his attacks, dealing bonus magic damage on him. Based. Like a vampire hunt. That's a sick character. Because I'm talking to all of you. This is so much easier. Instead of saying each name, saying chat, I talk to all of you. He looks sick, by the way. At least that's my response to it. I don't think there's any other reason, to be honest. Gothic remake! Yeah! The future commitment to 11 minutes only? Frick it, let's watch it.
Hey everyone.
11. It's a sign, chat. Sign. My flower's about to die. I don't get it. You water something, you give it everything it needs, and like 3 out of 4 the plants is dead. Why? I don't know.
This weekend is massive for ArenaNet, and most importantly for all of you in the Guild Wars community. Yesterday, we announced Guild Wars 3, the first major new game in the Guild Wars franchise in over a decade.
Boom.
We're going to tell new stories in a different era of Tyria, and when it's ready, you can join us. We wouldn't have got to this moment without the millions of players who've enjoyed Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2, and the entire team at ArenaNet is proud to share this moment with all of you. We'll have much more to share about Guild Wars 3 in the months ahead, but today, we're here to talk about the games you're already playing. I want you all to know our studio is committed to actively developing Guild Wars Reforged and Guild Wars 2 for many years to come. We are not replacing your favorite games, we'll be supporting them. We know this is not the norm, but it's something our studio
That's
has been
kind of
preparing
like
for, and to explain why,
interesting
it's
that,
worth looking
they
back.
keep on involving all three at the same time, at the
When
same
Guild Wars
pace.
1 was our only
But
live game, we faced a similar moment concerning the
the fact
future
that
of the
they're able
franchise.
to do that.
And as we shifted our focus to Guild Wars 2, we moved most of the studio to work on it. New content in Guild Wars 1 slowly went away, year over year, before stopping entirely as we approached the release of Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars is a very different game than its sequel, and by making the decision we did, we lost the ability to explore that space. We are not repeating the same approach as we did all those years ago. If we did, we would have stopped development on Guild Wars 2 more than a year ago. Instead, we've continued live development on Guild Wars 2, launched the game on Steam and Epic Game Store, and we've released 3 expansions in 3 years. We've seen Guild Wars 2 thrive, all while ramping up development for Guild Wars 3 simultaneously in the background. At the same time, we tested something new with Guild Wars 1 by reinvesting in the game and creating Guild Wars Reforged to see what would happen. And what we learned was clear. When we support these worlds, players show up, both returning veterans and entirely new fans of the Guild Wars franchise. Those experiences shaped how we're handling this moment. So here's our new commitment: Guild Wars Reforged, Guild Wars 2, and Guild Wars 3 when it launches.
That's a
All
big
3
commitment.
games share the world of Tyria. They are intentionally very different in design, in experience, and where they sit on the timeline. Whichever one is your home, and you're welcome to pick more than one, we're going to continue developing it for years to come.
Won't it be
So
hard,
next,
like a
Stephen Clark
confusing?
Wilson, our game director for Guild Wars, is going
I
to
mean,
walk
there's
you through
different
what
teams
this
on
means
different games,
for our
right? And
original
they're
game.
like,
And then
we're
Josh
not jumping
Davis,
around,
game
'cause
director
that
for
would
Guild
be
Wars 2, will talk about what's
very-
next for Guild Wars 2.
The original Guild Wars, now rebranded as Guild Wars Reforged, has been making up for lost time. Partnering with co-developer 2 Weeks Games, we fully integrated the game with Steam, including Steam Deck support. In the first month, about half of Steam players tried it on Steam Deck. We also simplified access. Anyone who has ever purchased a single campaign can now play all the campaigns at no additional cost. Next, we're applying what we learned about Steam Deck controls and UI to bring Guild Wars Reforged to mobile devices. The relatively small screen on the Steam Deck forced us to reconsider what the user experience should look like. We also learned a lot going the
Dad,
opposite
do you have a
direction,
Steam Deck?
making sure the game looks right and plays right on a 4K monitor. A typical phone these days has a very high resolution display, and we needed to adapt the UI to these high resolution displays, but they're in a small form factor. Mobile players will join the same live servers as PC players, and existing PC players will be able to access the game on mobile instantly and free of charge. We can't wait for
Mobile? Is it
longtime
mobile?
players to carry around Guild Wars in their pockets, and also join all the new players. We also recently shipped 2 new dungeons. Their success has given us the confidence to begin work on an entirely new type of content, which is just now getting underway. Stay tuned.
Hey everyone! Like Colin said, we plan to support Guild Wars 2 for years to come. My priority is to make sure this community remains a place that you're excited to call home. That said, the road ahead looks a little bit different than what's come before. The next 18 months are an opportunity for us to take on some exciting projects that we've wanted to work on, the kind of projects that don't really fit in expansions. So we have 4 major initiatives to share today, and one very important caveat. Let's go through the headlines first, then each in more detail. First off, we're building a new Hall of Monument system that will connect Guild Wars 2 with Guild Wars 3. This will let you carry your accomplishments forward over to 3. Next up, we're going to modernize and polish Guild Wars 2. We want to bring our older content up to more current design standards, address player concerns, and improve developer workflows. The third is for our World vs. World players. We're actively developing a brand new Borderlands map, the first in over a decade. And the fourth announcement is a new open world map set in Ore, bridging the Tyria that you know and the Tyria that you're about to discover in Guild Wars 3. Now, as mentioned, this all comes with a trade-off, and we want to be upfront about it. Visions of Eternity, our current expansion, wraps up this September. After that, we're taking a break from expansion development to deliver Hall of Monuments 2.0 and the other projects that I just mentioned. After Guild Wars 3 releases, we'll return to shipping annual major content updates for Guild Wars 2. Let's start with talking about Hall of Monuments in a little bit more detail. If you've played the original Guild Wars, you're probably already familiar with this concept. Hall of Monuments 2.0 arrives later this year and will let you earn rewards in Guild Wars 2 and Guild Wars 3 by completing new and existing achievements across the entirety of Guild Wars 2. One major difference from the original Hall of Monuments is that this time it will roll out in phases. The first 2 releases will focus on the core game, and then we'll hit each of our expansions in chronological order over the course of a year. We'll have a lot more information to share on the system and the associated rewards after the final release for Visions of Eternity later this year. So building Hollow Monuments this way gives us a rare opportunity to revisit the foundations of Guild Wars 2, which brings us to our second major initiative. After our team finishes work on Visions of Eternity in late September, we're going to spend nearly a full year going back through each area of the game and making meaningful improvements. The work splits into 2 halves, the stuff you'll see and experience as a player, and the work under the hood. Let's start with what you'll see. Everything is on the table here, to borrow a phrase from Colin. For example, bringing older content up to our current design standards, rebalancing events and encounters, addressing long-standing bugs, continued support for pillars of the game like World vs. World, polishing the early game experience. These are just high-level categories, but one specific example that we are updating is the Zaitan fight in the personal story. This is a rare opportunity for us to take a pass on the entire game and hit some of the biggest pain points that you experience on a day-to-day basis. Now the other half, the work that goes on under the hood, the kind of improvements that allow us to continue supporting Guild Wars 2 for years to come. We're investing in client and server performance, making sure that Guild Wars 2 runs well on your rigs, especially as we push the art direction in ways that our technology wasn't originally built for. We're also modernizing parts of our development pipeline. For example, we're upgrading our engine to use physics-based rendering, or PBR. The game wasn't originally built with PBR in mind, but adding it will let our team make new content better and faster. Now, there's a lot of work that can be done here, and a year is simply not enough time to do it all. So we want to stay focused on the things that matter most to you. Starting today, we're opening a new section on the official forums dedicated to this work. There's a space for the core game and a space for each expansion. Go to the forums and let us know what you think.
That's a good idea,
chat. The third announcement is for our World vs. World players. We're building a brand new Borderlands map, the first in over a decade. We're going to develop the map alongside the community, similar to how we approach the development of the new PvP push game mode. We'll release an early gray box prototype on live, gather your feedback, and iterate until we feel good about the direction. We think this approach gives us the best shot at avoiding the missteps that came with Desert Borderlands. Our goal is to host a beta test later this year, as soon as the map hits first playable. Outside of the new map, work on World vs. World restructuring, and our core World vs. World systems continues. Right now, the focus is on making winning matter, which requires some fundamental changes to scoring. Once the system is properly encouraging active competitive play, we'll look at adding some more incentives for winning as well. Last but not least, we're going back to Ore. You've probably heard by now that Guild Wars 3 takes place in Ore. It's one of the most iconic locations in the entire franchise, it's lore-rich, and it's tied to some of our most important stories.
No! Oh, hello. Bro.
It's one of the most iconic locations in the entire franchise, it's lore-rich, and it's tied to some of our most important stories.
That is great. Tell me.
In a way that you've never been able to see before. We'll have more to share down the road, but what I can say is that this will be a core game edition, free for all to play. If you or a friend are coming back to Guild Wars 2 to chase Hall of Monuments...
Oh. That good? That still looks expensive. Oh. Ah, damn. Bro, that's a brand new graphics card. What the fuck? 700 to 1,000. Wait, when is Ace was the first to make it? Wait, so it's already out? Wait, there's only one out. Bro, remind me after this video. I want to check that up.
Rewards.
I want to look at it.
You won't need to own an expansion to check it out.
Or maybe
so
if you can link it.
I know. A new Hall of Monuments, a year of polish,
that might
a new Borderlands
be possible.
map, a new map in Ore, and of course, you can still look forward to our festivals, bonus events, skills balance updates, Wizards Vault updates, and more. It's a pretty ambitious plan. Most games don't get a chance to put this level of attention towards improving the foundation so long after initial release. We
I
get this
didn't even
opportunity
notice.
because of you. And I think that we're set to put our best foot forward for Guild Wars 2 for the next 15 years and beyond.
Bro, I'm not gonna
So
lie.
as you can see, this is an exciting moment
This kind of makes me want to like download Guild Wars and play it a little bit, like get a feel for what the game actually is
and for Guild
about.
Wars fans around the world. We're expanding into the future with Guild Wars 3. We're going back through Guild Wars 2 to improve what we've built.
Maybe
and
give it a
launching
few
the first
streams,
release
no?
of the new Hall of Monuments by the end of this year. We're
Play it a little
investing in
bit.
Guild Wars Reforged, the game that started it all, with new platforms and new content. And before any of that, we've got the third quarterly release of Visions of Eternity landing in late summer with new story, a new map, and more. We're so grateful for this community. Every time we've had a moment to welcome new fans to the Guild Wars franchise, our players have shown up with open arms, reinforcing our reputation as one of the friendliest communities in online gaming. We're expecting newcomers and returning players to visit Guild Wars 2 and Guild Wars Reforged in droves as a result of the excitement and the commitment we're making to this franchise. Hall of Monuments will encourage millions of people who experience Guild Wars for the first time with Guild Wars 3 to want to go play Guild Wars 2 as well. We know many of these new players will fall in love with the games and Tyria just as many of you already have. And as a member of this welcoming community, each of you plays a huge part in that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is the first of a few conversations we'll be having with you over the coming weeks and months. Next up, our team will be back with more information about the setting of Guild Wars 3, sharing more details about the where and the when this game takes place. Then next Tuesday, Josh and I
Is there
will
a
sit down for a
comparison?
live stream on Twitch and YouTube
No.
to talk more about the franchise
A
and
comparison
to answer
video.
some of your questions. Please join us if you can. We're so glad to have you with us on this journey.
Yeah, wait. Is there? Is it on Steam, by the way? Okay, let's see. It's normally with LG, so it's impressive. I know like 50% of what you're saying, Flair, but yeah. Look it up. The ROG with OLED, blah blah blah. Yeah, but I wanna see the best dual mode tandem OLED Asus ROG. Wait, this one? That price? What does dual mode mean? What is a tandem? Away. Yeah, this is dual mode. Can like change. Only careful neon panel from burning. Screen save, target mode, taskbar detection, global dimming, detection, pixel cleaning, pixel logo brightness, just custom heatsink, neon proximity sensor. The screen looks clean. I like that. 45% smaller. That's nice. But it is expensive. It is hella expensive. But the white one. This one is Swift. Or even more. The world's fastest OLED screen with 540 Hz. 1 month ago comparison. Here we go.
Med 3 företag får du fritt high-speed wifi ombord på SAS.
I feel like it was two separate ones.
Det är här det händer. Men jag skulle ändå säga att
det är här Swedish ads.
det händer.
SK.
Vi på Skellefteåkraft ökar nu effekten i vatten.
Refresh rates on OLED monitors are hitting new highs with the latest models supporting up to 720 Hz.
You feel
Hey,
you
I'm
see
Nicholas
no
from
difference.
Ratings.com.
I
Today
saw
we're
no
comparing
difference.
two of these new OLED monitors with high refresh rates. The Asus PG27AQ-WPW and the LG 27GX790BB. They're both 1440p displays that natively support a 540 Hz refresh rate.
That one is a little bit brighter. Clearer. The left one.
And they can each go up to 720 Hz with the lower 720p resolution. But there's one big difference between them. Their coatings. While the glossy coating of the Asus is a real fan favorite, the LG and its matte coating is no slouch here. We do a bunch of honest, independent testing on both glossy and matte monitors. If you want to see more of it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
How do you add one of those to the videos? I've yet not figured that out.
These monitors look different is an understatement. The LG has a simple design without any special branding besides a logo on the back. The Asus goes in the opposite direction with heavy branding and backlighting. It has a rather unique look with transparent plastic on the housing, revealing the internal components. Maybe clear plastic electronics are making a comeback? Even though they're both well made, the Asus feels a bit more premium.
Don't like that.
They also each have solid stands that prevent wobble. They're both ergonomic, making it easy to adjust the screens how you like. That said, you could rotate the Asus into portrait mode in either direction, whereas the LG only rotates counterclockwise. Cable management is a bit different on them, as the LG has a clip and the Asus features a bigger cutout in the stand. They're similar for the most part in terms of inputs, with 2 HDMI and 1 DisplayPort on each. However, the Asus supports UHBR20 over DisplayPort, which gives it higher bandwidth than the LG's UHBR 13.5. While they both have a small USB hub, the LG includes a USB-C port with DisplayPort All mode, which is useful if you want to connect a laptop. But because it's limited to 5 watts of power delivery, you'll need a separate cable to keep the laptop fully charged while you're using it. As both of these monitors use the same tandem OLED panel, their picture quality is similar for the most part. This includes the same deep blacks, no haloing around bright objects, and wide range of colors. They even both have the same uniformity issues with vertical banding in dark grays. This looks similar between them, and even though this is something that can vary between units, it seems to be a common issue on these newer tandem OLED panels. There are ways to reduce it though, like by running pixel refresh cycles or lowering the brightness. It's also important to remember that you'll notice these issues a lot more with test patterns than with regular content. One area where they're different is brightness. The Asus is driven harder in SDR, allowing it to get brighter than the max brightness mode on the LG. You need to disable the uniform brightness setting on the Asus to get this high brightness though. Both monitors also have settings that aim for more consistent brightness across content, but the trade-off is that the screens get dimmer. The brightness is a lot more similar in HDR. They each reach over 500 nits with real content and peak at over 1300 nits with small highlights. The Asus is a bit brighter with larger highlights and can keep this brightness longer, but this difference is hard to tell with most content. They even have similar PQ EOTF tracking and both over brighten images. However, the LG is a bit less accurate and has a slower roll-off, which prevents highlights from getting as bright as possible. The Asus, on the other hand, has a sharper cutoff, so it's not double tone mapping. While the Asus is more accurate in HDR, the LG has the advantage in SDR. It has less issues out of the box, mainly thanks to its better gamma tracking and white balance. That said, neither monitor is truly perfect, and you'll need to calibrate them if you're a content creator. The biggest difference between them when it comes to picture quality is their coatings. The glossy coating of the Asus and the matte coating of the LG each have their pros.
Bro, look at that. Look at the reflection. Look at the madness.
Cons. The Asus has clear images and text, but the downside is that it has mirror-like reflections.
Yep.
This can get distracting if you have the monitor in a bright room, especially
Isn't
if
it
you place
IPS?
it in front of a sunny window. If that bothers you, the matte LG absorbs more light and spreads it out across the screen instead of reflecting it straight back. The downside is that images have haze.
Know what IPS does?
Another thing to consider is that the black levels rise in bright rooms a bit quicker on the LG. While this means blacks look deeper on the Asus in a bright room, the difference is subtle. There's no clear winner here. It's really about personal preference. You just have to think about whether you want clear images or less mirror-like reflections. No surprise, they're pretty similar in terms of gaming. As mentioned earlier, they have dual mode features to go from 540Hz to 720Hz with a lower 720p resolution. Although your graphics card won't need to use compression in the 720Hz mode on either monitor, it does in the 540Hz mode on the LG. That's not the case on the Asus because it has higher DisplayPort bandwidth. Regardless, both monitors have the same near instant response time at any refresh rate. This results in minimal mobile motion blur.
I see you, Fleur. But that's like, because that's like
This
the only
results in
difference
minimal
in these,
motion blur, except for
case.
persistence blur at
Oh,
low
look at that.
refresh rates.
Look at that, look at that, look at that. It's the only, I mean, getting one of those, you have to like just think about the positioning, if not.
The Asus has a black frame insertion feature that aims to reduce this persistence blur. While it works well, it's limited in how you can use it. It only works at 120 or 270Hz, and without dual mode VRR or HDR enabled. Besides that, they both have very low input lag,
Which could be a
with the
problem,
Asus
right?
having the very slight edge. They also support the
Could be a
same
huge
signals from gaming
problem.
consoles, including downscaled 4K at 120Hz.
I mean,
Like any OLED
kinda
though, they're each
they're
prone to
similar.
VRR
So,
flicker
I mean,
with quickly changing frame rates. It can get distracting in any type of content, especially dark scenes. It happens in the 720Hz modes too. The Asus has a setting meant to reduce this, but it limits the max refresh rate to 500Hz and multiplies low frame rates. It's clear that there's not much to separate these two monitors besides their screen coatings. It essentially comes down to whether you want a glossy or matte monitor.
I mean,
of course,
bro, that would bother the frick out of me to see the reflection like that. I don't think I could handle it.
price is another factor, as the LG is usually cheaper.
Yeah, bro.
There are different things that impact this, like depending where you live or if one goes on sale. If you don't have a preference for the coating, you should get whichever you can find for cheaper. You may also want to think about the warranty, as the LG advertises 2-year warranty and Asus promises 3 years. That
Like
said,
the sunlight from the window directly, so you sit with like the window behind you, kinda.
this can change between regions, so you
And
should check it out
diabolical.
before buying one. If there are other specific
So which one do you buy? Actually, comes down. It technically just comes down to one thing. It's like, do you want like the glossiness or do you want like the matte one? That's like it. Other than that, they're beast monitors, right? I mean, when will the prices start to drop though? Or have they already started to drop? Asus. I mean, more overall use, right? All day. Would be tandem OLED lower tier non-dual mode as well. Our price could. I mean, maybe we'll give it some, maybe a month, couple months, right? Then, like, Monitors drop in price while computers up in price. 2D OLED. I guess 4. Yeah. One is $500. It's at 34. Yeah, it's at 30. Yeah, 3, 4, 500. Between 3 and 6, yeah. Yeah, kick got drops. I would actually want one of these. Kick, give me a shirt. I want a shirt.
God, stop DMing me.
Oh yeah, chat. Like 379. Yeah. 360. How much is that in 70, 80, 390? Yeah. Streamer University. Boom. Haven't watched this. I watched it without you guys yesterday. Do it again. Do we all think that that's like that's the stream Kai will get back to?
Vill du veta varför det är
italienarnas
favoritvarumärke för
Crackers,
ost
I'm back.
än idag? Tja,
Boom,
det behöver...
stream. Give me you. And I want OLEDs. I only want OLEDs then. That's like a multitasking like multi.
It's application day. Hold on.
Off. Dun, 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 dun.
Streaming University. It's good to be back. Hello? Where's everybody at? It's application day. Hold on. What the... Hello?
Going into like a sanctuary, like full with like zombies
Anybody
and all
home?
that. What it look like?
It's application day. What we doing? Oh my gosh. What happened to this place? Are these supposed to be the new uniforms? Damn. God. Who's there? Is that you, Kai? Shh. Chris, what are you doing on there? They're everywhere. Huh? They're everywhere. Oh, why is nobody here? They're taking over. Ooh. Stop saying that. You're gonna upset them. No. Chris, are the delivery hours here?
Oh.
Wait, I have a solution. What is it? I've been working on this paper project. Where is it? Here. Yes.
Run, Forrest, run.
I don't know if it's gonna work. What the fuck is that? Christ, I'm ready to. Are you serious? I don't want my army. I can do it myself. I told you I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
You know what I just watched? We're watching this one on low quality. Too late now. Jeez. Fire!
Oh my gosh! I can't believe it! It worked! We did it! Yeah. Bring it in! This is your last semester.
Damn. New York City. Jimmy University University applicant. Alumni. Who's alumni? Damn. You gotta go there? Nah, bro. I'm good where I'm at. I mean, surely it wouldn't hurt me to go. But would rather help fun, but isn't he making a movie as well, by the way? I think he is. I think he is.
Y'all streamer you applications, nigga. I'm applying the way you're applying, gang. I want to be a professor, bro. Look, this is how serious the nigga's taking it. I dead ass text Kai, say, yo, in case you need some small streamers, some shit like that, I be knowing some niggas that's, you know, they tough. He's like, nah, nigga, trust me, I'm in tune. So I think in his break, he's been watching a lot, and he's gonna see the submissions, and he's gonna pick whoever he feels like is gonna be the biggest. He didn't even want my input, so please don't ask me, dude. He's not gonna listen to me, gang.
Bro, imagine how many people are actually like applying to that.
You gonna run it back?
Well, first I gotta ask, can I go?
Well, you gotta apply. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but like, why he can't apply to me?
What?
Like, why he can't? Like, why do we gotta apply? Why he can't go out and ask us?
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying, Agent?
Oh, if you wasn't invited.
Don't ask to
That's
go.
what the fuck I'm talking about, Agent.
Maybe not in all scenarios though, but well, let's stay safe there. Thanks for showing up.
What's good, nigga?
Drew just started ripping it.
The fuck are you talking about, Drew?
Which will soon test category-wide promotions, which will allow advertisers to offer bonus subs across the entire category. In most cases, it will be gift X subs, get Y bonus subs. Crazy will be opted by default. Out. What? Your category? How does that work? Geek just announced they're officially partnering up with Rainbet. Rumors were a mistake. I mean, kinda knew that for a while, but now it's official. New code house, we made it. They're like known streamers as well.
And that's not being embarrassed to embarrass. Blades, they have one thing in common, and that's not being embarrassed to embarrass themselves, including myself. I started off doing 4 poses on TikToks, embarrassing myself for views, and transferred that TikTok audience and went into Twitch, and I did the same thing on Twitch. Put on a maid outfit, embarrassed myself, got punched on. I went on Good Day New York, and I embarrassed myself. Because, why? Because I'm a streamer, okay? That's what streaming is for entertainment, entertaining others, okay?
There's different types of entertainment. That doesn't necessarily mean entertainment. Right.
Failure is not the end.
There's a different audience for entertainment.
It's actually a new beginning. Kai, if you give me this opportunity, I would be very grateful. I'd also be open to being a janitor if you need a janitor. Yeah.
Lazy, risk, gauging, wide the wheel. And that.
Why'd you get a Cybertruck? Why'd you get a Cybertruck? This is why. So I could sit here, eat my canes, and let it drive for me. Thank you very much.
Isn't it, I always thought about that. Self-driving cars, like driving. What if you fall asleep? Like.
Yes, that's right. I spent $100,000 on a Cybertruck so I could eat while it drives for me. It's called good time management. My time is money. So if I'm spending 20 minutes eating in a Cane's parking lot, that's 20 minutes I could have been making money.
By the time we get back to the house, you won't even need to eat.
Exactly. And then I can just go right to work. Lazy.
I mean, he's partly not wrong, right? Kinda agree.
My name is Riss. I'm a 17-year-old Swedish content creator, and my biggest dream is to meet you. If you don't remember, last Streamer University, you said this about me.
He submitted an amazing application. Only thing is with him, he's 16. Rakai is 16, but Rakai is somebody I could call his mother.
So, my mama got something to say.
+46707.
For 2026, I promise y'all that y'all will see me on stream with Kasanet.
Look at my eyes, tell me your tale.
You'll have this one day.
You know, somebody came from Sweden, come to Mafia Night.
Whenever I see an opportunity, I never hesitate.
1 million likes and I'll see you in LA. The kid came by who hit 1.8 million likes.
I believe that this will be the perfect opportunity for me to showcase my talent.
He hung up a Mona Lisa of me next to the Mona Lisa.
You know you can go in jail for this. So.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, Rizpay. That was a very good video.
His editing is crazy.
Really motivated guy. Reminds me of me when I was 18.
So,
Losing country one versus give us total win.
You should have. I tipped it through your donation button.
Oh, shit. I got it.
You get that?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. 5K.
Wow. 5.
Recently, the streaming or uniforms will be price brand.
Look at that. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough little Easter egg. That's tough lore. This is tough VVAT lore. Yes, Streamer University uniforms will have VVAT logos inside of them in the tag, bro. Oh my gosh.
Said it.
Yeah. Yeah, leak. W leak.
Yeah, he's well aware of it, but.
I am on stream. You okay? I don't think so. You're not on speaker. Wait, hold on. Hello? I am on stream.
How do we know? What do we know? What just happened, chat? Everything like blue. What? Yeah, you know what? I was not gonna show that. Fuck. God. Damn it. I'll be on more tomorrow. Thanks for today. It's been a short stream. Yeah, I'm gonna take the rest of the evening off. Calm down. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully. And until then, stay safe and God bless. Peace.